I feel like that pressure probably will be more on like Hampton than on Fallon
Yeah,
because I just feel like I feel like Fallon Turner Joyce has done enough this season to prove her goalkeeping credentials. I don't think that
yeah,
unless she makes like a howler mistake, I don't see how it does anything for her credentials if she doesn't block something or something goes in.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, but like I do think that it will be an interesting sort of conclusion to the question of does Hannah Hampton deserve the Golden Glove along with
golden.
Fallon Tullis Joyce?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of All About the W. We have come to the the last part of the season. The FA Cup final is almost up on us, and Ash and I are here to preview the FA Cup finals between Chelsea and Manchester United. Ash, how have you been? The WSL is over. How are you dealing with no women's football? But there is a lot of men's football, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the El Sakiko between Spurs and United. So there is that, and the Champions League final is still up for grabs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not so excited about this game. I feel like this one's going to suck a little bit as well. So
Yeah,
I'm just like, okay, it might like we're doing a watch along for it. So I hope it's interesting.
yeah, I know. I feel like, we've been saying throughout season, for bulk of the season, how Manchester United, watching United play is just a bit boring. And like Chelsea have also hit that level properly now in the last
Yeah.
3, 4 weeks, where our football is just straight up boring and we're just like getting 1-0 wins. So yeah, it is definitely battle of the two boring teams in some ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, But anyway, Ash, let's just get started. Short and sweet, hopefully, this one. Let's start with United's injuries, shall we?
Yeah, so from what we know, Jade Riviere has a possible ankle or foot injury. She was absent from the Arsenal game, so we really don't know if she'll be fit in time. Possibly she might start from the bench, from what Skinner has said in the previous press conference when she got injured. So that might force United to either start Aoife Mannion in her place or to start a back three, which I think is less likely. Or they could like play Gabby George out of position or Sandberg out of position, depending on who's more comfortable out of position. So yeah, Mannion's luckily also served her suspension from the City game and will be available for this game. So United, that's a one big loss for United. I think Jade Rivera is a big loss. But
Yeah.
considering the amount of injuries Chelsea has, I don't see it as any excuse.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think the one thing that's benefited Manchester United has been that stable backline. But
Yeah.
again, Riviere has been in and out with injury. She is a bit injury prone. I think that is, it's really unfortunate because she is a very, very exciting player. Yeah, but for Chelsea, I think of course, the long term injuries are still there. I don't think anybody's come back from it. Um, the only new injured player is Myra Ramirez, who picked up that injury in the game against the league match against Manchester United. She was walking around fine afterwards, but has not featured in the squad since then. So we've had like 2 matches after that. So she's not featured in either of those squads. And Bompastor also said that like they're hoping to have her fit for the FA Cup final, but again we don't know. She looked like she was in a lot of distress when she was injured, so not really sure where that's at. But yeah, apart from that, I think everybody seems to be available. Let's quickly talk about some of the battles that you're looking forward to on the pitch um, from
Yeah,
both teams. Yeah,
so for me, if it all depends on where Baltimore plays. Like, so if Baltimore starts as a winger, we'll see Charles playing fullback, And we know from the Liverpool game that Charles struggled against Smith's speed. I'm wondering if she'll be able to deal with Bizet, particularly if Toon doubles up on the flanks alongside her, which Toon and Bizet do tend to do. So that will be an interesting battle. I think if Baltimore tracks back to assist Charles, that also works in United's favor because she feels like Chelsea's primary threat. With Myra injured and Guru down the pecking order.
Yeah.
So I feel like uh, whichever decision Baltimore takes, whether to come back to help Charles or whether not to, will both go in United's favor. So I
Yeah.
think that would be an
I
interesting
think
flank to keep track of.
so. So far, I think Baltimore has started up front in the Liverpool game and the game prior to that as well. I'm not too sure, but whenever she's played on the left wing, she drifts inside a lot and doesn't track back as
Yeah,
much. She's
yeah,
almost playing that Lauren James role of like being like an inside 10 of sorts.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
basically, I feel like it'll be one of the midfielders who have to sort of track back and like
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
make sure they move a little more laterally to cut off some of those passes, etc. So, yeah. Do you have anything else on your mind?
I mean, we'll discuss it. I do have questions about both midfields, but
Uh,
you tell
yeah,
me what battles you're looking forward to before that.
I think the Baltimore Aoife Mannion one is definitely interesting because I personally have not seen Mannion play a whole lot because she's somebody who
Yeah,
comes off the bench a little bit, right?
yeah,
Um, I So I'm not really sure how that would play out if that does happen. Generally, like centrally, also I'm thinking about Myra and Aggie because like it's just about how you're going to game plan for that, right? Like for example,
yeah,
because Myra and Aggie are two very different strikers. Myra is obviously somebody who can like hold up the ball really well, and she can like spin you very quickly, and has some pace, and she can also like drift out to the right hand side mostly and like put in a cross. We've seen her do cutbacks. We've seen her do that. So, whereas Aggie Weaver Jones is somebody who sort of stretches the back line a little bit more, dribbles, uh, you know, uh, like runs the channels a little bit more. So I think, yeah, I'm curious to see how the centre backs deal with them. I am assuming Myra will not be fit and Aggie will be the starting nine. But yeah, but what do you think about the goalkeepers? I was actually thinking because in the WSL awards thing that happened, it was really sweet. I mean, I don't know, Hannah Hampton and Fallon Tullis both won the Golden Glove, right? And apparently they
yeah,
was chatting on the side, and then some
yeah,
interviewer asked Hannah like, "What were you talking about?" And um, Hannah was like, "Oh, we were just talking about they had like a highlight reel apparently." And
yeah,
Hannah was saying how she felt like Fallon's best saves were not on the highlight reel, and she was referring to some Manchester City free kick or something. I mean, it was very cute. They were
yeah, yeah,
both
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, we have one more
Like
game to
vibing
play
over.
against."
Yeah,
them."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and she's praising Fallon's like suit or something. I mean, I don't know, something was going on, and
yeah,
and they did very clearly say, "Oh, we also have like one more game against each other," and
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
some
yeah.
ways they feel like they're on equal footing in the season, and this is like a chance to one up each other.
Yeah,
So
I mean, like I feel like that pressure probably will be more on like Hampton than on Fallon
yeah,
because I just feel like I feel like Fallon Tullis Joyce has done enough this season to prove her goalkeeping credentials. I don't think that
yeah,
unless she makes like a howler mistake, I don't see how it does anything for her credentials if she doesn't block something or something goes in.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, but like I do think that it will be an interesting sort of conclusion to the question of does Hannah Hampton deserve the Golden Glove along with
Golden.
Fallon Tullis Joyce?
Yeah, I think that's going to be. Generally think I mean, the way they were thinking about it was also like really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's
Yeah.
see who comes
It
out on
also
top.
with Riviere injured, it'll also kind of like prove whether Fallon success depends on United having that steady backline.
I think it's the other way around. I think Fallon like is the reason why United
Yeah, I
backline
think so
doesn't
as
work
well.
with
I
us.
think so as well.
Yeah, but anyway, I think yeah, both goalkeepers have had decent seasons. I feel the issue for me is I feel like Hannah Hampton like is more error prone than Fallon
Yeah.
Tallis Joyce. What I've felt.
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe we can talk briefly about some of the midfield battles as well. Like
Yeah. I more than midfield battles, I'm really worried for this game because both the teams have really janky midfields. Like we've been cribbing about the Toon Clinton thing for so very long, and like let's just park that debate because it's really not going anywhere. We know Skinner's going to play them together and hope,
can I just
like,
interrupt you
yeah.
for 1 second? I wonder if we spoke about the Tone Clinton clash in our very first transfer episode.
I think we
I wonder.
did. I think we did. I think we've
We've
been
been
talking
talking
about
about
it
it
since
for a
like,
full season.
yeah, entire season. And like Skinner has done nothing about it. Nothing. Okay. He's just like now everyone has to deal with them working together, not working together, and
Yeah.
be happy with it because United are, third in the league. Anyway, but Chelsea is just as janky. Like if supposing Walsh, Cuthbert, and Captain are the three starting, I feel like they're all like I think Cuthbert obviously is a class apart in these three in terms of current season's performance. I think each,
Yeah.
but I also think that each of these players is an island to themselves, good at what they do, but does not work with each other. You know what I mean? Like,
I
I feel
miss
like,
the good old Cuthbert no skin double pivot, man. I miss
yeah,
our time back in like December when we got
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I remember like joking about Newskin's shot from distance. Newskin's shot
Yeah,
from distance. You wish you had Newskin's shot from distance to
I
score.
swear,
Like,
man.
like seriously, I don't understand Chelsea's midfield. I don't understand United's midfield. So I'm just like it'll be a battle to the bottom in terms of who wins that
Yeah.
midfield battle.
Or I wonder if it's just going to be like midfielders just like looking up in the air when the ball goes over them
Yeah,
the entire time.
like
It's like the
let's
midfielders are the
bypass.
net and everybody else is playing tennis.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be like gentrification. It'll be like I built a flyover over this village.
I swear, man. But yeah, Ash, let's wrap this up, shall we? Predictions, the big predictions. So, how are we going to go about this? Are we doing
Okay.
15 points or are we doing 16 points?
I mean, to be fair, the League Cup final was 15, so we should leave it at 15. I mean,
Right.
just to be fair, in terms of the rules.
Okay,
Um,
thanks.
I will obviously because you will predict a Chelsea win, and there's no other way I win this predictions competition without predicting a United win. I will go United, although I personally think Chelsea have enough just to like edge it.
Right.
But I would go two, three are United. No, 3-2 United.
Ooh, 5 goals. Wow.
Yeah.
And 2 goals from Chelsea. You know how long ago that was? Like we could score 2 goals in a
Listen,
game.
that's why I predicted 1-0 Chelsea in the previous game. But I
Yeah.
feel like, I feel like it's been coming for a while. So it's the last
Yeah.
game. Chelsea have nothing to play for except this. Might as
Yeah.
well.
Maybe in the last week they found their shooting boots somewhere lying around. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I can respect that. I thought you'd go 1-0 Chelsea because that's a very likely scoreline. It's the scoreline for the last two games, I think.
Yeah.
But 2-0 Chelsea is respectable.
Yeah. And I feel like JRK and captain are going to score.
JRK and captain are going to score. Do
It's
you?
the most unlikely goal scorers.
Yeah, I'm just like in my head, I was like, what?
Yeah,
uh,
but
why
we'll
not?
see. You said
Let's
three
just
to United, no?
yeah, I said 3-2 United.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I think it's 3-2 United, because I feel like both the midfields will be ineffective. That will put pressure on both the back lines. Both the
Mhm.
back lines, if Charles is playing on one side and Mannion's playing on the other side, both the back lines will have chinks in the armor, and
Yeah.
something's got to give. So I feel like it will
Yeah.
be a goal fest for that reason.
I think United have a really good shot if they score early,
Yeah,
because I feel like the longer it goes, like say 0-0 or something, I mean Chelsea have the squad depth. Like if they want to change, it's going to be a hot day, and
yeah,
like if they want to change or tweak things in the midfield, like Chelsea just have like more people in the squad to make those tactical adjustments.
yeah, yeah,
Especially in the midfield area, I feel
yeah.
like United are a bit light there. So
Yeah, yeah. I would
yeah.
argue that United currently, just currently, because of your injuries, have a better playing 11.
Yeah,
Just in
starting
terms of
11, right?
talent, like
Yeah.
Turland, Bize, Clinton, these are all goal scorers.
Yeah, I think form-wise, Chelsea are definitely struggling. I feel like, I mean, maybe not the back line so much, but definitely everything beyond that. But yeah, I think that wraps up our FA Cup final preview. Uh, just a reminder to all of you out there to subscribe to our channel. Do leave us your predictions in the comments. What your scoreline, what you think the scoreline is going to be, and we will catch you on next week with our FA Cup review, and we will see who has won the fan pundit corner finally. All right. We'll catch you guys. Bye bye.